And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben. Live here in St. Louis. It is Saturday, September 3rd, 2022. This is my rebuttal to Joe Biden. Not that I matter, not that I'm anybody, but I am an American, and I am a Republican. And I don't mean a Republican as in the Republican Party. I mean, I am a Republic supporter. I support the Republic of America. I support American independence. I support American growth. I don't hate China. I don't hate Mexico. I don't hate France. All right, I may hate France a little bit. No, just joking. I love my country. I love the republic for which it stands. And I am completely against the progressive movement of which Joe Biden and most of the Democrats and some of the Republicans are members of. It is the progressive movement since 1886, when it was officially created. Prior to that, they were known as the Illuminati. They were known as the Fabian Socialists over in Europe. They were known by many names, but the one they adopted for America was the progressive movement. This progressive movement is progress towards what they called System X. There was a publication in the mid-30s, early 40s. I don't remember the exact date. The pamphlet, because that's what it was a pamphlet called The Road We Are Traveling. And in that pamphlet, they described the system that they were working towards. They didn't have a name for it yet. They called it System X, where basically it was a global controlling structure of government, industry, medical, military, education, and that's what they have built. We are at the end of that idea. We are at the natural end of the progressive movement. See, centralization never works. And there's a reason centralization never works. As a society organizing idea. Because humans are individuals. Humans have free will. Now, some people say freedom doesn't exist. That humans are constantly manipulated. That there is no such thing as freedom. Only your latest manipulated reaction that you label freedom, freedom of choice. They say humans do not have original ideas, that humans only follow leaders, that humans trick themselves into believing that they are using their free will to choose the directions of their life. That is the fundamental floor of the progressive movement. That humans are programmable. And yes, I will be smoking. If that offends you, I'm okay with it. Humans, whether you believe that we were created by God, or if you believe that we evolved out of sludge, each side agrees that humans move forward. They progress. The argument isn't if humans progress, it's the direction in which we progress that the argument really is. And if we are capable of self-management, self-government, self-control in a society, yes, we are. The fact that they even bring up, can humans self-govern, is an admission that we can. See, we all self-govern every day. Do I want coffee? Yes. Do I want to go to work today? No, but I will anyway. Will I love my wife today? Will I love my husband today? Will I pay my bills today? That is governing. That is management of your daily life. See, the progressives, they know that if you're alive, you are self-governing. As long as you're alive, you are self-governing. The reason that they always put in this, the American experiment. The American experiment is a lie. That's like saying the human experiment. Well, let's see if these humans are worth it. Let's see if these humans can exist. Already prove we can. That argument's gone. But the progressives load up. They question the individual so they can inject the question of governance. See, we all accept individuals. We all don't accept the form of government. See, you look around in nature, we all accept that there's other people. Yeah, we see them. We interact with them. They are real, sovereign individuals. The government and the progressives, they argue, and we argue against them. Well, we need something on top of the human individual governance. We need a local governance. We need a state governance. We need a federal governance. We need a global governance. See, the illusion is what they're saying. Well, you've got to have a global governance. That goes without saying. No, we don't. What we can have is a naturally occurring market that you can look at and go, that's the global market. But the progressives, they say, well, if you have a market, you have to have rules. You have to have enforcement of those rules. You have to have oversight. You have to have rulers. You have to have lawmakers. You have to have bureaucracies to handle the management of the markets. That's where the lie comes in. See, free markets are so magical that they're educational. A market teaches you. A market. Now, when I say market, it could mean anything. Any type of competition. It could be a football game. That's a market. anything for a product or a service or an award is a market. When the San Francisco 49ers play the Miami Dolphins or something like that, they're playing for an award. They're playing for a win. That game is a market. Now, that game originally was great. Football used to be amazing. But now it's not so amazing. There's so many rules, so many illusions of security, illusions of neutrality. There's so many layers of social influence on top of the game that the last thing that you are actually watching is a football game. You're not watching a football game. You're watching a managed show. You're not seeing who is physically the best football team. You're seeing who can manipulate the football system the best, who can manage the football system the best. That's what football is now. It isn't who is physically able to win the game the best. No. You have so many rules that you can't hit this. You can't hit that. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. And you can't do that. Okay, so what the hell can I do? Not play football. When I was in high school, my coach, and this is so frowned upon nowadays, my coach would say, here's my advice, go out and win. And he'd say, you know how you win? You win by wanting to win more than the other guy. You go out there, you put your heart, your soul, your body on the line. You put everything, there used to be a saying in football, leave it all on the field. Leave it all. Leave your blood, leave some teeth, leave a little bit of hair, leave it all on the field. And that's what humanity is missing. That's what the progressives don't want. They don't want a true market. Let me tell you who the progressives are in reality. All right? The progressives are the weak people. who do not want to accept their weakness or earn strength. They want power. They want respect. They want social clout, social status without the pain of earning it. That's the definition of a politician. See, a politician wins a poll. It is a poll-atition. They do not earn your vote with actions. They earn your vote with promises that they cannot keep. See, a politician will tell you, I will get in office and I will lead legislation to make America safer. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. A law has never saved anybody's life. Ever. It's an action that saves people's lives. It's even with seatbelt laws. Let's use those. Somebody wrote a while back on a piece of paper that it should be a law that people wear seatbelts. And now they've claimed they've saved so many lives with the seatbelt law. No, you didn't. You know what saved all the lives? The seatbelt, not the law. The action of putting on a seatbelt. The law is irrelevant. People don't put on a seatbelt because of a little piece of paper. People put on a seatbelt because in their personal judgment, they find it worth putting on a seatbelt. Maybe it was an experience that they had where they were in an accident, or they had a friend who was in an accident. Did you know? Here's a little thing they never tell you. That thousands of people die every year from wearing a seatbelt. Oh, yeah. Thousands of people a year get killed because the seatbelt chokes them after the accident. Chokes them to death. Thousands of people a year die because of seatbelts. But, all right, right, but odds are that the seatbelt may help you survive more. Now, the fact that you've heard that seatbelts save your life, and sometimes seatbelts kill you. What's your choice? It's a personal choice. It's a personal action. So the law is really irrelevant. All right? If the law was absolute, if as soon as you sat in a car, a seat belt appeared, like gravity, let's say. If seatbelt was a law, it would happen in nature. There's no such thing as a law that works. It's actions that work. And they don't always work the way you think they'll work. See, you may smile as you click your child, and I'm going to get graphic. Click your child into their seat belt, in their booster of the car, and you make sure it's good and tight, and you look at little Johnny and go, hey, don't you worry, little buddy. Dad's got you. You're strapped in for safety. Then you flip the car, and the car catches on fire. And you cannot get little Johnny out of the car because the seat belt won't release. Now, little Johnny was killed because you thought you were doing the right thing. Were you wrong or were you right? It was a choice, a free will choice that you made. You played the odds. Sometimes you lose. Joe Biden gets in front of some historical monuments and then tells the American people that the democracy is under threat. I'm surprised George Washington or Benjamin Franklin's ghost didn't come out and put him in a headlock and string his ass up in front of that building. See, Joe Biden, and I bet you he knows this. Do you know the arguments that were in that building against democracy? Have you read the Federalist Papers that were distributed against the argument of pure democracy? Joe Biden should be ashamed of himself for ever placing his hand on a Bible and saying, I will uphold the Constitution. Like hell. As soon as those words came out of his mouth, his tongue should have caught fire. The progressive movement sole agenda in America is to destroy and disconnect the people from the Constitution. Every day, the progressive movement works so hard to remove the Constitution from the American people's psyche, to change and twist the words of the Constitution, to manipulate the meaning of the words. See, what Joe hates and what the progressives hate is that there is a large swath of Americans who value what the Constitution stands for. See, the Constitution does not grant us our rights. The piece of paper does not grant us our rights. It is a list of some of our rights. But see, our rights reside in nature. Our rights reside in the fact that we exist. The moment we are conceived, the moment that we are conceived, we have rights. See, the progressive movement looks at us as programmable meat machines. That's it. It's why they have these structures. Human resources in corporations. Human resources. You mean people? You mean souls? You mean sovereign individuals? No, they mean human. See, we are not governed by laws. We are governed by culture. That's what we are really governed by. And each of us have our own culture. We are raised in a different culture. What the progressive movement has been trying to do for the last 125 years is to create a culture of humans in America who are subservient to the government. They want a culture of Americans to naturally get down on their knees and thank God for government. problem is government can never replace God. See, whether you believe in God or not is irrelevant. The fact that you believe in humans, the fact that you believe that I exist, that you exist, that your wife exists, that your children exist. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to acknowledge God. God doesn't care. All right? God keeps this world moving, even in the fact that you don't believe he does. That's okay. See, what I know, because I've experienced it, and others have experienced it, you will know God before the end of your life. It may be the final seconds of your life, but you'll know God. Some of us meet him earlier. Some of us meet him later. It doesn't matter. We are all God's children. That doesn't mean we're all good. It doesn't mean we're all bad. It doesn't even mean that some of us know our Father. I honestly, to tell you guys the truth, I don't know who my real, quote unquote, biological father is. I don't. I have no clue. It could be several guys. Mom was a little bit of a swinger back in the day. I don't know. But does he exist? Oh, absolutely. How do I know? Because I'm here. Bitcoin Ben was not made through immaculate conception. Somebody did something to somebody that made old Bitcoin Ben exist. Do I need to know who that man was in order to know that he exists? Nope. But I exist. Therefore, I know my Father exists. See, our freedom, our rights, our God-given authority over our souls, our sovereignty. That means to own your soul. See, back in the old days, the only way to God was through the church, through a rabbi, through some entity, because they had sovereignty. They had a soul. They were granted the connection with God. But the average plebe, oh no. If you wanted God's grace, you had to go through the bishop. You had to go through the church. You had to go and confess your sins. to the church. Did that ever make sense? Did that ever make sense? Doesn't God know your sins? Or is it the fact that they wanted part of the punishment for your sin to be the embarrassment of the speaking it? God is always there. God doesn't need a middleman. God doesn't need an operator. Hi. Yeah, hey, this is Ben. Is God busy right now? Hold, please. Yeah, God. Yeah, I got Ben here. All right, I'll patch him through. That's not how it happens. What the progressive movement hates, and when I say progressive movement, oh, we could go so much deeper, and we will tomorrow. Because I'm going to come into my office tomorrow, and I'm going to do another video, and we're going to talk about exactly what is at the roots, the soul of the progressive movement. Because it almost seems a little evil. It almost seems as if everything you believe is anti-nature, anti-natural, anti-created by God, then what's at the root of your agenda? What is the progressives' foundation? What do they believe? What drives the progressive movement to want to uphold abortion? See, I'm all for freedom. I am 100% for freedom. In fact, I guess you could call me pro-choice. I'm pro-freedom. But I am anti-abortion. I myself would never be involved in or ever contribute to any abortion of a child. Now, on the other side of that, I understand that in order to reach God, in order to find God, some people have to do things so evil that it breaks their soul in half. We call that rock bottom. See, some humans, and especially modern humans, we have it so good that we make up stress. We have it so easy that we make up strife. We have it so easy that we have to conjure up some magical oppressor who is oppressing us as we talk on our iPhones and as we go out to eat at one of the thousands of many of choices we have for restaurants. The struggle's real, you know. That our life is so hard. That we just have to find something to struggle against. Even if it's made up shit. See, the progressive movement lives on unprovable, unresolvable issues. Number one, for unprovable and unsolvable issues that the progressive movement trumpets. Global warming. You talk about something that is absolutely insane to believe that we could alter on a long-term scale and at the micro and yet macro levels that the progressives claim we are capable of. Now, humans can manipulate small areas of weather. Absolutely. The government's been doing it for years. But when they're talking about global warming, they always leave out the sun. All right, now I'm not saying sunlight. Did you know that out in outer space, it's freezing cold? That the closer you get to the sun, it doesn't get warmer. It's not like walking closer to a fire. All right. The sun heats up the earth. The earth radiates heat from the inside out. The earth's heat and climate is set with microwaves. It's why the further you get away from the center of the earth, the colder it gets. It's why mountaintops have snow. And the hottest part of the earth are deserts that are closer to the middle of the earth. See, what sets our climate is the amount of radiation frequencies and frequencies that resonate from the sun. It's also what generates materials at the center of the earth. If you ever look at, all right, if you take a mountain, chop it in half, all right, those layers where you can see like granite, copper, all that, those layers were created because the sun was going through a certain part of the universe that the frequencies off the sun produced those metals or those materials at the middle of the earth. The earth is like a Wi-Fi printer, right? The earth produces material at the center. What materials are produced is set by the frequency of the sun. That's going a little deep, but see, someday the education system is actually going to educate people and not indoctrinate people. See, the sun, it doesn't have any gases. It's not made up of a bunch of gases. It's a big piece of plasma that resonates and amplifies frequencies. Think of it like this. The sun is a string on a guitar. As it moves through, the sun is the point that your finger touches the string of a guitar. All right? It's the point that your finger touches the string of the guitar. you hit that guitar string. That hit, that motion is the motion of the sun going through space. Now, what sound that sun or point makes is set by the location of the sun inside the universe. As it moves through space, the frequencies, the sounds change. And those frequencies, most of them we cannot hear. They're not sound waves. They're bigger, smaller, and more powerful. Those waves come around the sun and then meet at exactly the point of the middle of the earth. Where those frequencies meet, that is called frequency friction. That's at the center of the earth. That friction produces ash. All right? That ash, that little spark, is also what lets a woman or a man, whoever, make their voice break glass. It's frequency friction, where they can match or come close enough to the frequency of the glass to alter and interact with the glass and break it. That's what Nikola Tesla taught us. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this video, my friends. I'm going to come back tomorrow, and I'm going to do another video. Tomorrow's video is going to be more in-depth, more spiritual. What is the goal of the progressive movement? What's at the heart of the progressive movement? How long have they been around? And who is Moloch? See you guys tomorrow.